Okay, this is the training mode. So in this mode, it's navigating this course, and it requires a remote control to tell it whether or not it is turned correctly, successfully. So right here, it chooses either to go left or right. And you can see it pauses because it's waiting for me to tell it if that was a successful turn or not. So I'm going to tell it to go a little bit further to the right, and then I'm going to push the power button to tell it to continue. So I'm not telling it which direction to turn. I'm only telling it whether or not it needs to turn. Further to the left or further to the right. When it chooses the direction, it chooses based on the distance. So here I need to tell it to turn a little bit further to the right. It didn't turn enough. A little bit more. Okay. Tell it to continue. It only does the training mode 5 times. So once it reaches its goal state, that considers one mode. Tell it to continue. Here it has to go left. And that's a perfect turn. So we're going to tell it to continue. Just move to the right a little bit. And here's where it reaches its goal state. Of course, it turned perfectly, but it got caught on the wall. Tell it to continue, and it reaches that goal state. So this is one training session, and here it flashes green to let you know that it successfully reached the goal state. We put it back in its initial state. And it lets you know that it's ready to go. Here it goes forward. Okay, notice that that's a pretty good turn. I'm just going to turn it just a little bit more. Tell it to go. I have to get it off the wall. Okay, that's a really good turn too. So we'll just let it go. So that's a good turn. I'm just going to let it go. And here's the zoom out to get a view of where it's heading. So here's, again, this is where it can turn either left or right. If it goes right, then it has to come all the way back around. If it goes left, it hits the goal state. So here it randomly chose right. And that's a little too far. So I'm going to tell it to go back to the left. Oh, you didn't see that. Go forward. So here it goes right. That's a perfect turn, so I'm just going to tell it to go forward. Okay. Okay, it's kind of stuck. What's the problem here? It seems to be stuck. Let's do this. Let's go right, and then let's go left, and then no, it still doesn't recognize it. Okay, looks like it's stuck here for some reason. So I will pause.